In the ancient city of Pella, a child was born under the weight of great expectations. This child was Alexander, destined to challenge the world itself. His mother, Olympias, whispered tales of divinity in his ear. "My dear Alexander, you are not merely my son. You are the blood of Zeus, destined for greatness." Olympias's words wrapped around him like silk. Alexander, even as a young boy, felt a fire within him.
I'll show the world what it means to be a hero. Nothing will stand in my way.
His determination sparkled in his eyes. Olympias nodded, her own ambition glowing in the shadows. "Remember, my child, with great power comes great responsibility." Alexander grinned, unfazed by her warning.
Responsibility? Ha! I was born to conquer. The borders of this world will tremble.
Olympias smirked, her gaze piercing through him. "Oh, but they will also fear you. You must tread carefully, my fierce one." And so, in the heart of Pella, a legend began to forge itself, a tale of ambition, divinity, and the thrill of power. In ancient Greece, a young boy named Alexander was always different from his peers. While they played in the sun, he buried himself in scrolls filled with knowledge.
I just don't get it. Why would anyone want to fight when they could learn about the stars?
His teacher, Aristotle, listened patiently, his voice calm and wise.
Young Alexander, knowledge is indeed a treasure, but the world is a complex tapestry. There are lessons in both inquiry and conflict.
Alexander pondered this, his mind racing with questions.
But, Aristotle, what if understanding leads to peace instead of war? Isn't that more powerful?
The wise owl nodded, his eyes shining with approval.
Exactly. Truth in myth, logic in destiny. Each step you take brings you closer to understanding the chaos around you.
Alexander's excitement bubbled over, and he jumped up.
Then let's explore. I want to know everything. Can we start with the stars?
Aristotle smiled, seeing the spark of curiosity in his young pupil.
Very well, my dear boy. The cosmos awaits, and so does the wisdom it holds.
In the grand hall of the palace, young Alexander stood before his loyal advisor, the weight of the throne heavy on his shoulders.
We must act swiftly. The rebellion in Thebes cannot be tolerated. Strength is the only path forward.
The advisor adjusted his bespectacles, his tone measured, yet warm.
Your Majesty, while strength is indeed paramount, we must also consider the consequences of such actions.
Alexander's eyes blazed with determination.
I understand, but if we show weakness now, we risk losing everything.
The advisor nodded, acknowledging the gravity of the moment.
A delicate balance, sir. A display of strength, yes, but perhaps a hint of diplomacy could serve us well.
Alexander paced, deep in thought.
Our enemies will not listen to words. They will only understand force.
The advisor sighed, knowing the young king's passion.
Very well, Your Majesty. I shall prepare the army. But remember, the hearts of the people must not be lost in the fray.
With a resolute nod, Alexander knew he would face the challenge head-on. In the heat of battle, Alexander stood at the banks of the Hellespont, ready to embark on a campaign that would shake the foundations of empires. He gathered his troops, determination shining in his eyes.
We stand on the brink of greatness. The Persian Empire will tremble before our might.
His words ignited a fire in the hearts of his soldiers, and they roared in agreement. As they crossed the river, victory was their only goal. Days later, at Granicus, Alexander faced Darius III's forces. The river flowed fiercely. But so did Alexander's resolve.
Charge forth! Let the world remember this day!
And charge they did, breaking through the enemy lines with unyielding force. In a dark corner of the battlefield, Darius observed, his voice smooth and menacing.
How could he conquer so easily? My family left behind.
Fear gripped him as he watched his army falter against Alexander's relentless assault. The decisive battle at Gaugamela loomed ahead, where the fate of empires would be decided.
This is the moment. We claim our destiny.
As the clash of swords echoed, both leaders understood that this was more than just a battle. It was a turning point in history. The ground shook with the weight of their ambitions, and the world watched as legends were forged.
We shall see who truly reigns supreme.
And though the epic saga of conquest and power unfolded, forever etched in time, in the ancient city of Persepolis, Alexander stood tall, a symbol of change and power. His eyes surveyed the magnificent ruins around him, the air thick with history.
This is it. This is where the old world crumbles. We're not just conquering. We're creating a new dawn.
His voice echoed through the halls, filled with determination. A Persian advisor, wise and cautious, stepped forward from the shadows.
Kin, young conqueror, do you truly believe burning these structures will herald a new era?
The advisor's tone was measured, though his heart raced with concern. Alexander turned, his expression fierce yet thoughtful.
It's not vengeance, my friend. It's a funeral pyre for the past. We must light the way for the future.
The advisor pondered, his wisdom contrast with Alexander's fiery ambition.
A heavy burden you carry, Alexander. But destruction can be a double-edged sword.
Alexander paused, contemplating the advisor's words.
True, but sometimes to build anew, you must first reduce the old to ashes.
With a nod, the advisor stepped back, understanding the weight of history they both bore. The flames of change began to flicker in the distance, illuminating their path forward. In the bustling city of Alexandria, known for its grand library, a mysterious figure emerged. Alexander, with an air of elegance and authority, walked among the scholars.
Ah, my dear scholars, knowledge is the true path to immortality. Do you not agree?
The scholars looked up, their eyes wide with intrigue. One, an elderly scholar, stepped forward.
Who? Indeed, noble Alexander. But tell us, what drives you to seek this eternal wisdom?
Alexander smiled, his gaze piercing, yet charismatic.
The pursuit of knowledge grants power beyond the grave. I seek not worship, but a legacy that will outlast even time itself.
The scholar nodded thoughtfully, pondering the weight of Alexander's words.
A profound ambition, but can the thirst for knowledge truly quench the soul's desire for recognition?
Alexander leaned closer, his voice a whisper.
Recognition is fleeting, dear scholar. But knowledge? Knowledge is forever.
The scholar's eyes sparkled with understanding, captivated by the vision of a city destined for greatness.
Who? Then let us build this beacon together, one scroll at a time.
And so, under the shadow of the great library, their journey into eternity began. In a land once thought to be myth, Alexander the Great stood before King Porus, ready for battle.
I have marched across deserts and mountains to meet you. Surrender, and I shall show you mercy.
King Porus, a regal figure, looked deeply into Alexander's eyes.
Great conqueror, Respect is earned, not taken. Will you spare my kingdom for that?
Alexander paused, contemplating the weight of the decision.
True power lies in respect. I will not destroy what could be an ally. You may keep your kingdom.
King Porus nodded, impressed by Alexander's wisdom.
A rare quality in a ruler. You understand the hearts of men.
But as Alexander turned back to his weary soldiers, he felt a shift in their spirit.
We cannot go further if our hearts yearn for home. We must turn back.
The army murmured in agreement, realizing that even the greatest king must heed the voices of his people.
A wise choice indeed. Power lies not just in conquest, but in understanding.
And so, with newfound respect, Alexander led his men home, their spirits lifted by his decision. In the grand halls of Babylon, a once mighty king lay upon his bed, pale and frail at the age of 32. His advisor stood nearby, concern etched on his face.
My time wanes, dear advisor. The empire I built, it shall soon be left to another.
The advisor straightened his posture, his voice steady yet warm.
Your Majesty, to whom do you wish to entrust your legacy? Surely, there must be someone worthy.
The king's gaze drifted to the window, where the sun began to set, casting shadows across the room.
To the strongest, I say. Power must remain with the one who can wield it best.
The advisor frowned, sensing the weight of the decision.
But, sire, strength can be a double-edged sword. Are you certain?
The king turned his head, a faint smile forming on his lips.
My friend, in this world, only the strongest survive. Perhaps it is time to embrace change.
The advisor nodded, though doubt lingered in his eyes.
Very well, my liege. I shall prepare for the transition, but know this. Strength can come in many forms.
The king closed his eyes, letting the words settle in as he drifted into a restless slumber, leaving his empire's fate hanging in the balance. In the dim light of a forgotten battlefield, a spectral figure drifted among the remnants of a once mighty empire. It was the ghost of Alexander, who had become a legend etched in the memories of men.
I am not just a name. I am the echo of ambition, the whisper of dreams unfulfilled.
A wise old owl perched nearby, observing the ghost with keen eyes.
You have become a question, dear Alexander. A mirror reflecting the aspirations of those who dare to dream.
The ghost turned, shimmering softly in the moonlight.
How far are they willing to go? That is the true measure of a man's spirit.
The owl nodded, pondering the weight of those words.
Indeed, many look to the stars and maps, seeking your courage. They ask themselves, can they defy fate as you did?
A gust of wind swept through, carrying the ghost's essence further into the night.
I was but a man, yet my will soared beyond mortal limits. Will they rise to the challenge?
The owl watched as the ghost faded into the ether, leaving behind the lingering question that would inspire generations.